Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we have the 78 El Camino SS. All the bodywork's done, all the priming's done. Just needs to be scuffed down and painted. So we got a few stages to go. We got to paint the jambs and then paint the gold along the bottom, and then once all that dries, mask all that up and paint the white on the outside, and then put it all together. So right now I'm going to get started on sanding down the door jambs. Okay, little rust spots, lots of chips. We'll take this out here, and that looks a little bent right there. We'll just bang that in a little bit so this lays flush. They jacked around with this door so much with the busted door hinge and the pins and bushings being out. So all these chips here, got all new weather stripping to put on it. So yeah, we'll just pull all this off, even if we got to paint over it. It don't matter. We're not going to do a perfect job in here. There's lots of grease and WD-40 in there, but it doesn't matter what it looks like in there, as long as the little rust spots are covered. Here, there's a little rust spot in behind this tag. I've been trying to get a little piece of sandpaper. I'm going to dab some white paint in there, stick that back on there. I don't think it's readable anyway. I'll clean up a little bit. Got a little bit of primer overspray. Yeah, just this stuff. Gonna clean up this hinge, probably grind this little edge off here. So they really jacked this door around. Opens and closes great now. Did the new door pins and bushings. Actually changed the whole hinges from the parts car onto it. But yeah, we just need to sand down all these crappy looking spots and just shoot some white in there. We'll go ahead and take the sill thing off and paint all that white. Same on the other door. I don't know how bad the other door is compared to that driver's door, but probably not as bad. Well, that one's a little bit, maybe that's the way it's made, just a little bit crooked there. Not too bad, just these chips here. Yeah, we'll paint in there. Not too bad here, but I got a whole new rubber bumper kit, I think it's called. Got the little stoppers here, stoppers for the glove box, gas lid, stuff like that. So we're going to put all that in after it's painted. So yeah, let me get started on that. We'll see how far we can get. It's kind of cloudy, but sun's out. Warm enough to work. Just crappy weather. Just drizzly some days and chilly in the 40s, and it's got to be about 55 and sunny for me to work outside. And yeah, I know we need to got to clear all this stuff out, put it somewhere. I put the bumpers on a rack over there. When we paint the gold, I got to paint this gold, got to paint this white. I got to box up all this stuff and put it away till after it's painted. Put all that on there. And these are all the parts and stuff for it. Need to kind of organize that. So yeah, need to, but yeah, I don't really like working in the garage other than painting because it's kind of claustrophobic. I don't really want to have a heater going. I just got a little one of those diesel, the little jet heaters that you put diesel fuel in. well, I think you're supposed to use kerosene, but it's over here somewhere. I haven't used it in years, but I could do that, but I don't like the noise, and I don't like breathing in the fumes of the heat. I like working outside with a little bit of a breeze in the sun. So if it's a crappy day, then I usually don't get much done working on cars. I'll run, do errands, do other stuff. So that's kind of, it's a little slow going here, guys. But anyway, let me get started on all that, and I'll be back to show you the painted Jambs, and see if we can get that painted today, or it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Next few days anyway, we'll get that painted. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got the shop cleaned out where I could pull it in here and paint the Jambs, but it's such a nice sunny day out. I think we're just going to paint it out here. I don't really care if any little specks of stuff, dirt, get in there. Plus it'd be a lot easier out here with the doors wide open. Okay, so I got it all sanded down. As you can see, I'm not going to bother with primer or nothing. We're just going to paint the white, do a little masking, mask off the things there, and I'm not going to go and take all this trim off again. Just going to mask it up. So yeah, it's all sanded in here. I'm just going to wipe it down with a rag and some paper towels and some water. Wipe it down. I scuffed all where it's going gold with 320. That's why I had it in the shop there, because I got some bare metal showing. I didn't want it to rust. So I had it in the shop overnight. So yeah, all this area down here, I got to open that from the inside. So once the white dries, it'll, you know, be a couple days. Well, maybe, yeah, depends on the weather. We'll paint the gold. We're gonna go ahead and paint this area here white. We'll spray a little white down here, but I don't want to get overspray on everything. We may put it on there with a brush or something. I got new stoppers there. I could probably take these ones off. So yeah, anyway, we're going to try to get the white in here in the fenders. The edge of the hood here. I didn't really want to mess up all the white overspray on the black, but we'll see what I can do. Put a little paper on there. Yeah, so that's the plan. Okay, I'm going to blow this off real good. Blow all the dust off, wipe it down. Start masking, and I'll come back when we spray a little white on there, and we'll get that out of the way. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, got my little Harbor Freight $14 gun. This is still the one I'm using primer and everything in for a while now. When I paint the whole car, or actually when I paint that gold, I got another gun. I usually buy 2 at a time. So I'm going to use a fresh gun to do that. But for now, for the Jambs, you know, it's not really that important. I got it turned all the way down, the fan of it, so it's just shooting. Let me show you here. You know, you don't need a big pattern or nothing. I had to thin this down. This is that paint from that supplier that I painted the El Camino, and that black was as thick as tar. This is the same one, and the white's pretty thick too, so I thinned it down a lot, so it's thinned down. If it gets runs, that's why. I also make sure you get inside here, sanded it down I said you should probably prime over the bare metal, like this area in here, but I don't want to mix up any primer to do it, and in a gun, and I don't have any spray cans of it. So it's probably always handy to have a spray can of primer, and you just spot in them little areas before you paint it. I have one, but I have a big old can of etching primer, and I got it I bought it a while back, and it's just for painting over, or priming over, like the leaded areas, like on this one I don't think had it, but where it would have lead there, regular primer won't stick to that. Well, maybe some good epoxy primer might, but regular primer won't. It'll peel off. You have to use etching primer. So I bought a can of it, and then I got it home, and the trigger thing was all messed up, and it just blew out. And I tried putting another trigger on, and it would just all leak out the bottom. It's just a mess. I should have brought it back, so it was like 35 bucks for a big can of it. So anyway, I probably got this up a little high, but and that black was a little pour 15 when I was doing pour 15 underneath, and a little surface rust there. I sprayed some over there. Like I said, I'm not going to care too much about in here, how good it is. We'll just kind of yeah, I know my little door jamb switch is bent. I don't think it's hooked up, and I'd rather not have it hooked up now until the car's completely done, or else it'll just drain the battery, or you got to disconnect it, or disconnect your battery every time. So yeah, I'll fix that. I'll get that off. Get it off the parts car if that one breaks trying to straighten it. Yeah, see, it's really thin. I need to turn it down a little bit. Too much. I'm trying to do it one-handed. Yeah, that's probably better. A little bit higher. And mixing it thin like that means it's going to take a few coats to cover. That's all right, man. It's sunny out today. It's going to be nice weather. Well, hit and miss weather until about 5 or 6 days from now. Then the high is going to be in the 30s. So it looks like winter's coming. Hopefully it only lasts a week or so, but it won't last too long. Like I said, if it's in the 50s, I don't mind, but anything colder than that, I just don't really like doing it, working out here. It's mainly the hands. The hands get cold. See, and they, you know, work with your hands outside or even in a cold shop, and you know, they almost go numb. So, that's the worst thing. I mean, you can bundle up and wear a jacket and a couple of shirts, but it's the hands, and you can't work on the car with gloves on. You got to be able to, you know, body work and anything, mechanical work. Can't do it with gloves. So, okay. Well, let me. We got these areas up here. Yeah, it's awful thin. Okay, well, let me put a couple of coats on here and I'll show you. I'll show you when I'm done, and then we'll let it dry for a while and bring it inside. I'll probably go ahead and put the sill panels and stuff like that back on it, and then hopefully in the next day or so we can paint this gold on there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, got it all painted. Turned out pretty good, a lot better than it did look. And like I said, I just kind of sprayed in there. You know, it ain't no show car or nothing, just want to make it look decent. Painted. Oh, I meant to put another coat in here, but we can do that when we paint the car. But yeah, looks pretty good. And I just did the edges of the hood, and then the fender jambs there. I figured it'd be easier to touch this up with black than it would be to white, so yeah, doesn't look bad. And then along the edges there. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, bring it inside, and then next we'll paint the gold along the bottom here in a day or two, depending on the weather. Gonna have to let that white dry a little bit to mask off. We gotta mask it off so it doesn't get all gold all overspray in there. Okay, so I'll be back when we get the gold ready to go. Okay guys, it's been a couple days. Last few days were in the 40s, so I didn't really do too much. But today it's 60, tomorrow 63, then a couple days in the 40s, and then boom, winter hits. It's gonna be highs in like the 30s. So I ain't gonna get much done. Maybe a while in between videos after this one. But anyway, forgot where I left off, but yeah, I got all the jambs painted white. I just went ahead and put the sill rocker panels back on. Yeah, I have to touch up the my vinyl. I got a little bit of paint left, a little bit of vinyl paint there. We'll touch that up, or I had to mask it. But anyway, jambs are all done. One thing I wanted to do before the gold was to paint this black underneath here. I put some pour 15 on the rusty areas, but I didn't do anything on all this stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is just paint it black, all in here, up there, gas tank, underneath the gas tank, areas like that. So I'm just going to spray some black underneath here. That way I wouldn't have got no black on the paint job. So I'm going to do that, and then after that we're going to bring it in the shop, mask off some areas, put some wheel covers on it, and then paint the gold along the bottom. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got this area here all painted black. You know, earlier all the front's done with pour 15. I did in some of the back, but yeah, I just wanted to get some black under there. Okay, I've just been spending the rest of the day just hand sanding it down with 320 here. So all the area for the gold is already sanded, all the bottom, but just going over the top. And just keeping an eye on Nikki here. I haven't had her in the pen all day, just letting her walk around and stuff. She's been mostly hanging out by the door, but I think I just seen her. There she is. Well, hey, Nikki. What you doing, girl? How you doing, Nikki? You're such a good girl. She don't go after the cats anymore now. She was a little bit afraid of them. Now they both sniff each other. And I think as long as the cats don't run off like they're wanting to be chased, then they just kind of sniff around each other. No, we're not going in yet, Nikki. Just hang out here. She's just been hanging around here sniffing, and then a few minutes ago she started walking around by herself. So I just don't want her to hurt herself and dart into something. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm just gonna, for next hour, I'm just gonna finish sanding it down and bring it inside, blow it off, then bring it inside, and then tomorrow we'll mask up some areas and paint the gold and the clear on there. So I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, got it inside, masked up, ready to paint the gold. Got a fan blowing the fumes out. Had a few days ago, it was like 40 or 50 mile an hour winds. And I was looking out the window and this thing wasn't even moving. So I guess some sandbags help. But yeah, eventually I'm going to wrap the fencing stuff around it. So I think it'll be all right. I didn't want to cement it in because it's not going to be permanent. But anyway, it held up. You could see the top flapping a little bit, but pretty damn windy out. Blew a bunch of stuff around. I just sold the original motor out of that El Camino. Guys came over, bought the rear end out of the parts car El Camino, and then I sold them my old Corvette motor block, and then the motor off the original white El Camino. And you know, numbers matching, but it ain't worth anything more, I don't think. Just 185 horsepower, 165 horsepower, 305 slug 2-barrel. So anyway, got rid of 2 motors and the rear end to there today, so it's getting still got plenty of time though to paint this. Of course I wanted to do a bunch more stuff, but we'll get her painted. So there it is, mask it up. Here's the front spoiler. I'm just going to paint that like that. I think it'll be all right. And I'll set you up with a camera, my GoPro, in case I get I don't want to get paint fumes on the main camera here. So yeah, I'm just going to paint the gold, a couple of coats of gold, and then clear, because all I got in that gold is the base coat. I believe it's this, yeah, GM code 55 and a full quart. I didn't buy it, I already had this paint. I'll have to tell you the story some other time. And that paint and this gallon of red, I actually bought it. A customer, an old man with dementia, had this big old Lincoln town car thing, and I forget what color it was, but it wasn't nowhere near red and gold. But he wanted the whole thing painted in red and gold, and I told him, well, go buy the paint, bring it up. He spent 800 bucks on this, clear, hardeners, reducers, thinners, sandpaper, all kinds of stuff. It was 800 bucks, and he brings it to me, and he said he'll drop the car off next week. And next week turned into a couple of years, and he never showed up, never phoned, no nothing. He just probably forgot. So anyway, that's the story behind that paint. So I bought this red off of eBay or something to paint the Corvette with, but then I decided to paint it with this, and So anyway, this is the paint here we're gonna paint the 81 Silverado with. It's acrylic enamel, I believe. We'll see. We may have to clear it. I just bought a gallon of clear right here. This didn't go up very much. I forget what it was, 120, 130, which ain't bad. Well, of course, it used to be like 110 for this and the hardener, but a subscriber sent me a whole case of this hardener stuff, so I didn't have to buy that. I got just a little bit left in that, so we'll use a little bit of that and a little bit of this. And then when we paint the white, I may clear it. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, we're not going to be painting, spending any money on paint. Got the white paint left over from 94 step side and the Avalanche. So we're going to use that paint up when we paint the top. And I just may put a couple coats of clear. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, guys, I'll set you up on a camera and on one side or the other, and we'll get her painted. So I'll be back. Okay guys, put about 3 or 4 coats of that gold on there, used that whole cord up, just a little bit left for touch-ups. Put 2 coats of clear on there, didn't use that much clear at all really, just what was left in my old can. I haven't opened up the new stuff yet, so far it's been free. And we'll continue that with the white. But it's 70 degrees today, nice and sunny, warm, t-shirt weather. It's dropping to, I think the high is going to be 40 tomorrow, then 50, and then 3 days in the 20s. So this big cold front is coming through with a I'm not gonna be able to paint this for a while yet, guys. Normally let it dry for 3 days in the sun, but right about that time it's gonna be cold, so I don't know when it's gonna warm back up to good painting weather. It's gotta be, you know, probably 60 degrees minimum to paint it. Could be a week or so. I'm not gonna get any work done during them 20-degree days, 20-something degrees. In fact, everything's just going to be frozen up. But yeah, it's got the gold done, just the white to go. It's still a little bit dark over this area, probably because of all this crap here, but yeah, it's all pretty much all sanded down. All I got to do is well, just go over it a little bit and then mask it up and paint the white, but I won't be able to do it for a while. And then it's going to take a while to put all this stuff on. A lot of stuff to put on it. So it's going to be a while before you see the final result, but whenever it does warm up a little bit enough to work, I'm going to go do the truck. So the truck interior, the 81 Silverado, that'll probably be the next video. And then whenever the weather cooperates, we can finish this off. But okay, so I think that's going to be it, guys. As far as I can tell, it turned out pretty good. Well, okay guys, like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.